Hey guys, Uncle Ray, welcome to another episode of the Crypto Bellwether. On this channel, we cut through the hype and the noise, and I give you the non-biased information you can use to hopefully capitalize on the biggest opportunity in history. And I truly believe this bull run is the best time in history for the average person to change their financial future. That being said, real world assets are going to be one of the hot sectors. No ifs and buts about it for this bull run. And quite frankly, probably the next bull run. And there are literally thousands of corporations and foundations trying to get their share of this new asset class. Now, there's no doubt that in the future, everything will be tokenized. Your house, your car, your health records, your passports, your dog. It will all be tokenized. They're even going to tokenize your stocks and your portfolio, your business, you name it. It's going to be tokenized, and there's going to be a way to capitalize and use whatever tokenized asset you have to do a lot of things financially. It's going to be amazing to watch. That being said, I want to make it very clear that a lot of projects are going to pump. Now, in my opinion, none of these projects are probably going to pump as high as we think due to the fact that they're literally more just real world asset projects that are very valid with real world utility and great everything than there were total tokens in, say, the 2017 bull run. So, yes, one or two of these can absolutely rip, which are the ones we're trying to find. What we're trying to uncover with this series, and this is my fourth video comparing two real world asset tokens at a time. Well, what I'm looking to find is if, for example, if you put $10,000 in either Centrifuge or MakerDao, which one has the best risk reward as an investment? At the end of this bull run, if I cashed out, which one would produce the most profit for me? Now, I highly recommend go watch my other videos. I'll leave a link down below. I'm probably going to do maybe 2 or 3 more. There are so many. I could do one every day for the next month. That's how much competition is in this sector. Anyway, hit that like button. Let's dive into it. Now, guys, a lot of projects are talking about we're going to, right? We're going to move into real world assets. We are going to do this. We're going to do that. Well, in my opinion, if they're already behind the 8 ball, they will not dominate. Now, does that mean they may not be the best investment, which is all I care about? No. But the reason I say that, I want to be clear, it's probably going to be projects like, say, MakerDao in the future that dominate along with other Wall Street projects. And if you think about it, guys, whether you want to hear that or not, like the big Wall Street firms like BlackRock and JP Morgan, Goldman Sachs, they have the customers. So they don't have to go out and build anything and go find customers. All they have to do is build something and introduce it to their asset holders and tokenize those assets, and they will dominate. And why they're not already totally dominating, which they are moving in that direction, is because of regulation. You're not going to see the big boys really show their dominance until regulation is clear. So their hands are kind of tied. But in the meantime, there's a lot of opportunity for people to capitalize. Now, I invest bull run to bull run. That's all I care about. And quite frankly, guys, anyone hodling these projects past the bull run, or no matter what, at best, experience just a little pain. At worst, a lot of pain. And probably the real probability is if there's 100 real world projects that someone is looking at, probably half of them will be relevant by the time the next bull run starts. So just keep that in mind. All right, both of these projects are already doing extremely well, and they're playing in the game with the big boys. There's a lot of big boy connections, and that's what you want to see long term. But we're talking about this bull run. Now, Centrifuge, if you look at it, is we're building better technology for financial projects. Now, both of these projects are very similar, and they actually are working together. And one thing I haven't heard anyone else talk about that I found pretty interesting that they collaborated together with was that, in the future, when you're dealing with all this money flow, there's going to be issues. No ifs and buts about it. Centralized, decentralized, whatever. So if like lawsuits come up, well, they want a mechanism where they're protected, which actually makes sense because think about it. If you've got billions of dollars or trillions of dollars in your ecosystem or in your network and you do something wrong and you get sued, well, that could just railroad everyone. And they're building that mechanism to protect themselves from like lawsuits that won't affect their ecosystem. So that is a pretty good plan. I haven't heard many talking about it, but I know in the future the ones that make it, they're all going to be very similar as far as compliance. But I thought that was pretty interesting. Now, Centrifuge has pretty good tokenomics, and we're going to talk about that. They also have a burning mechanism long term. Again, not really relevant for this bull run. Now, as far as the technology, a lot of theirs is financial instruments, like if you want to borrow money against your tokenized assets, or like if a business tokenizes something, they can borrow against it. There'll be a liquidity pool. There'll be mechanisms to raise money. There'll be mechanisms kind of like staking and things like that, which that's very common in a lot of the TradFi, Web3 future type projects. Now, if you look, they've already have $636 million financed through Centrifuge. And they've already tokenized 1,550 projects. And they're growing at 19% a year. Guys, that's off the chart. If that was a Wall Street company, it would be on the news. Now, if you look at the players, they're working with MakerDao, Aave, Base, Circle, Arbitrum. This is the real deal. So it's a very legit project. We don't even need to talk about that. Now, that being said, when you look at the chart, and I was a little disappointed. I thought this was a newer project. The real money, no matter what anyone tells you, for the most part, are going to come from the lower market cap and the ones that this is their first bull run. That's where the big gains are going to be. But you're going to have more risk. Now, if you look at that chart, it's been beat down, but it's had a pretty good run so far in this bull run. Now, the market cap is only 170 million, and that's would probably be considered a low to middle market cap. So there's a pretty good upside. Now, I personally have no doubt that this thing probably will hit a new all-time high, and that's about a 3x. Who knows from there? The the supply is almost fully diluted. It's 497 million circulating and 551 total. Now, that being said, I want to be clear about this. It does have a mechanism after it's fully diluted to keep growing. And it's going to need that to keep feeding its ecosystem, but it's very, very low inflation after that. But again, that's something we'll be talking about, say, 5 years from now. So I don't think it's going to hold it back. However, there's some big boys that VCs that are behind Centrifuge, and there's some unlocks coming. You are going to have some inflation, and the odds are the smart money is going to wait. So there's more supply out there than you may think, and they will unload. You can almost guarantee that when altcoin season gets here and before this bull run, these VCs are going to be taking their profits. Now, why is that important? Again, guys, I've said this every single video, and one day it's going to sink in, and you'll be happy you understand it. If you don't take profits, you'll become the profits. So if you're going to get into Centrifuge, no matter how far it rips, it's coming back, and you're probably going to be buying it down in here, say a year and a half, 2 years from now, definitely in the bear market. So keep that in mind. I went to Masari and I looked at the inflation. You know, it's a little higher than I would like, and I don't like that it didn't show the supply going all the way back. I guess they started reporting in October of 2023, but that's not too bad. Now this, I'm pretty sure it's a blip because I looked on and compared it to the chart. I didn't see anything that would signify that the supply, and I'm not aware of how the supply could dump like that. So I'm pretty sure that's just a glitch. That being said, I'm extremely bullish on Centrifuge, and I think it's a great project. However, it will not be, I can tell already, on my list from the other projects that I believe are a lot better investment, which is like Mantra or Rio. Now, that being said, let's move on to MakerDao. Now, guys, when I talk about how the big boys, Wall Street already have the customers, they are tied into some of the biggest players in the world are tied into MakerDao. It is a big boy project. So you're not going to see those extreme gains. It's a blue chip. It's more of a project where someone has $1 million and they don't want to put it extremely at risk. They would buy something like this. So this thing's not going to do, let's just say, and it could easily do a 10x, but I don't think it's going to get more extreme than that. Now, look at this is why I say it's a big boy project. And again, guys, I really hope people start to understand this. These new projects, no matter how great they sound, no matter how wonderful these companies or foundations seem like they're doing, guys, they are so far behind. You have projects like MakerDao, who has made $100 million in revenue. Now, I want you to think about that. 99% of every project that you're aware of in crypto has not made enough money to pay for its ecosystem. And they make so much money at MakerDao. They have a massive liquidity pool, and they have a burn mechanism, which we're going to talk about that. Because when they get over $50 million in that liquidity pool, they start to burn. And guys, they are always burning because they make so much profit. And we're only about a third of the way through the bull run. And this bull run, in my opinion, is going to be massive. And if we're lucky, it's going to be the biggest, longest lasting bull run that crypto's ever seen. As long as we don't have a black swan, and as long as number 45 wins this election, guys, we are going to explode, and MakerDao is going to be massive, and it's going to dominate. And a lot of places are already saying that MakerDao is dominating real world assets. Now that's debatable, but it's so many financial instruments, and when Wall Street comes, which they're using MakerDao a lot, they're going to be parking their money in their liquidity pools. So the point about that is, long term, don't think like a Rio or Realio is going to jump up and take market share from like MakerDao. It's just not going to happen. And I truly believe once we get the regulation, like I said, Wall Street probably will jump ship from MakerDao and start using their own rails and things like that. Anyway, look at that circulating supply, guys. This, they had a huge unlock in 2019 and had an amazing bull run in the last bull run. But now you can see, because of the burn mechanism, it kind of looks like Ethereum. They're literally deflationary, right? And that's one thing, guys, just like Centrifuge is deflationary in the future and it has a burn mechanism. A lot of people that just don't want to tell you the truth, I really don't understand it. It's not deflationary and will not be for probably 10 years. It's not even possible. So yes, it's good long term, but again, we're selling out at the end of this bull run. Now, when you look at the chart, guys, I have no doubt if we continue this bull run and we have a good altcoin season, that MakerDao will hit a new all-time high. Look at the circulating supply is only 930,000. The total supply is 977,000. Now, a lot of people don't like that because the price is over $2,000 and has been over $6,000. But again, guys, Wall Street doesn't care. See, no one cares about our money. They don't. Retail doesn't matter except for like with Solana, where the retail's actually using it, or because you're buying so many meme coins and stuff. But no matter what, guys, Wall Street money rules the world, whether we like that or not. So they could care less if this thing was $100,000. Same with like Bitcoin. It doesn't matter. But fortunately for us, you don't have to buy a whole token. So who cares? It's all good. Put in $10,000. 10,000 is 10,000, right? If you double, triple it, 5x it, it's the same thing. That being said, I think this is the closest thing to a guaranteed 3x in this bull run for a real world asset. I just don't see it not happening because of the deflationary amount of how it's deflationary and how much money they make and how much in the lead they are in their partnerships with the big boys. Now, that's pretty much all I got, guys. If I had to invest in one right now, and if I was guessing which one has the biggest upside, that's a tough one. This is one of the few that I really couldn't figure out because, I'm guessing they're going to do probably close to the same. Centrifuge may have a bigger upside, but the risk is nothing like or as good as with MakerDao. So it really depends, guys. If you got $1,000, that's one thing. I wouldn't buy MakerDao. Why would you? But if you got, 100,000 or $1 million that you want to park somewhere or more, you're probably going to look to a MakerDao. Anyway, let me know what you think, guys, and go look at the other videos. I've done, my first one was Ondo and XLM. I did Rio. I did Goldfish. I can't think of the other ones. But, guys, I'm going to line up at least 10 to 12 of these tokens that if you want information, you can go look at. And then my final video, I'll tell you exactly which ones I'm looking to stack. But that being said, I'll go ahead and tell you that mantra is going to be hard to beat when it comes to risk reward. But now, so far, Realio has probably the best upside because it's lower market cap, but it is a lot more risky. Anyway, I do one-on-one coaching. It's only $250 for 3 Zoom or phone calls. Guys, I'll answer any question you have. If you need to understand tokenomics or how to dollar cost average in or out or how to compare these projects, I think it'll help you out a lot. But whether you take me up on that or not, I highly recommend do yourself a favor. Get a game plan. Quit bouncing around. Because once you have a game plan, guys, the FOMO and the FUD is not going to get to you. And when you put on these trades, one thing I teach in my coaching, or not really trades, put on these investments, you should already know what to do, like a robot. You should just, once you put it on, you say, when this happens, I'm going to do this. When this happens, I'm going to do that. There's only a handful of things, and really, it's going to go up, down, or sideways, right? Get a game plan. And guys, remember, if you don't take profits, you will become the profits. So hit the like button. Let me know what project you think is the best. What project are you buying? Is it either one of these? And come back, subscribe, and be part of this community. Take care, guys.